Hi. So today we are going to learn how to graph inequalities that are linear, right? That are actually lines. So we're used to graphing things like x less than 2, right? And when we do that, we have our number line. We put the 2 there. It's an open circle because it's not or equal to, and we shade. Okay, so whenever we're graphing our inequalities of two variables, that means we are given a line like y equals mx plus b. So on this next page, you can see y is greater than 3/2 x plus 1. So we're doing more than just that number line. We're doing it on a coordinate plane, our x and our y axis. So we're going to take it step by step. First, step 1 right here tells us to graph the boundary line y equals 3/2 x plus 1. Alright, we'll stop. So, graph the boundary line. We know that because this is in y equals mx plus b, that the 1 is our y-intercept, so I'm going to go up to 1, and that's a dot. Then, we know that this number in front of the x, the 3/2, is our slope. So rise 3, run 2. Okay, that's another dot. Then I need you to look at this part. Okay, that statement. It says, since the inequality is greater than, not greater than or equal to, use a dash boundary line. So in the same way that we have an open circle in our other one, we're going to have a dashed line because it's not filled in, right? There's space there because it doesn't actually include that line. So let's do that. So there we go. Okay? Okay, so we finished step 1. We answered the question, right? Now let's do step 2. Since the inequality is greater than, y values must be greater than those on the boundary line. Shade the region above the boundary line. So we're going to shade everything up here. And if you have colored pencils, you can always use colored pencils. That's fine. Make your graphs colorful. That's perfectly fine. Okay? But we want to see that this is the area that's shaded. Right, so we can shade it in that way, or we can use more color, or we can do whatever we want. Our point, though, is that it's that way. So let's then pick a point to test the shading. And I like to pick easy points, right? The easiest point that you can plug into this is 0, 0. And if it works, if the statement is true because of it, then it should be in the shaded area. In our equation right here, it says it should not be in the shaded area. So if our statement is not true when we plug 0, 0 in, then we're good. Okay? So let's plug it in. So wherever I see y, I need a 0. And wherever I see x, I need a 0 also. So 0 is greater than 3/2 times 0 plus 1. Okay, well, anything times 0 is 0. So we're basically saying that 0 is greater than 1. Is this a true statement? No, because 0 is less than 1. So because this is not shaded where 0, 0 is, we are good. We can put our check on that problem, and we can move on. So let's do another one, right? Let's do y is less than or equal to 2/3 x plus 3. So again, graph your boundary line. We start at 3, because that's my y-intercept. Then we rise 2, run 3. So up 2, run 3. And we get 3, 5. So, since the inequality is less than or equal to, our boundary line is solid because it includes those points. It's or equal to. So those points can be included. So our line should look like that. And then we have to shade. So, for shading, we pick up, it's less than, so it's less than those on the boundary line. So we shade the region below the boundary line. So all of this. Okay? And then we pick a point to test the shading every time, right? Because we want to make sure that we did it right. So, pick a point. Let's pick 0, 0 because it's easy, right? Don't make it any more complicated than it needs to be. Wherever you see y, put a 0, and wherever you see x, put a 0, because I'm picking the point, 0, 0. X equals 0, y equals 0. So 0, is that less than 2/3 times 0 plus 3? So let's look at, so before we decide whether or not this is true, let's figure out, does it need to be true or does it need to be false? Right? So is 0, 0 in our shaded area? Yes, because it's right here. So it should be a true statement, whatever we get out. So 0. What is 0 times 2/3? Still 0. Right? So that goes away. So is 0 less than or equal to 3? Well, yes, because 0 is further left on the number line than 3. Right? So it is less than. So I can put a check on this problem, and I'm done, because it works. It is in our shaded area. So your job for the try these is to draw your graphs. And if you have graph paper, use graph paper. If you want to use color, use color. As long as you have the graphs done to where we can see them whenever we check your try these, you will be okay. Okay? And you did need to draw all the graphs as I drew them. So make sure you have 2 graphs in your try these, or in your notes, and then 4 graphs for your try these. And if you have any questions, come see us. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.